Hi, I'm Martin Felsen. Welcome to CityDesign, the channel where we explore how we shape cities and how cities shape us. Today's episode is about co-living and co-housing, so today's question is, won't you be my neighbor? This question is, of course, the iconic tagline of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood.
Won't you be my neighbor? Well, I suppose it's an invitation. It's an invitation for somebody to be close to you.
Connection and community aren't easy to come by these days, which raises the question, how can we live harmoniously together? Think about your living situation. Maybe you live with friends, family, strangers, or maybe you live alone. Happiness often comes from being part of something bigger than ourselves, an extended family, a lively neighborhood, a community. Yet many of us don't interact with our neighbors or engage with the people around us. Connection and cohesion are a byproduct of stability, and they take time to form. This episode is about designing ways to fast-track that process, to help people feel and become part of a community sooner. For decades, private homeownership has been the ideal for many people, especially in the US. But soaring home prices and housing shortages are now creating a pressing need for alternatives. So whether by necessity or choice, more people are choosing to cohabitate. Co-living, co-housing, and co-buying are part of this shift. Co-living caters to unattached, young digital nomads who seek privacy with a community twist. Alternatively, co-housing offers long-term stability, shared resources, and private ownership. Both co-living and co-housing prioritize individual well-being and community, and both are alternatives to traditional single-family homeownership. I'll play the role of your real estate agent as we dive into co-living, followed by co-housing and co-buying. Co-living and renting are pretty similar, but co-living has been evolving lately. One of today's most popular versions of co-living offers private, pre-furnished rooms connected to all sorts of leisurely spaces shared with other people. Co-living is being redesigned to make socializing effortless. Co-living typically attracts young, urban professionals. They want the perks of campus-style living, like fancy gyms, pools and beaches, and branded lounges. At the same time, they want the privacy of their own personal room. Think of Friends, the iconic TV show. Roommates share apartments and bond in hangouts like Monica's living room and Central Perk, their community coffee shop. Today, that Central Perk could be a stylish lounge inside the co-living building itself. Amenities like co-working spaces, biophilic design features, and yoga studios are often flexibly bundled into yearly, monthly, or even weekly co-living rental packages. Co-living environments are designed to encourage spontaneous interaction, nudging residents to meet new people and make new friends. Co-living isn't for everyone, but for those who can afford it, it's a fast track to shared experiences. Well-designed co-living spaces stimulate a personal sense of belonging, which strengthens individual well-being and community ties. Next, let's look at co-housing, which offers more permanence than co-living. Both co-living and co-housing build community over time, but co-housing does it through home ownership. In the US, owning a home is a key aspect of the American dream, yet it's out of reach for many. Co-housing offers an alternative, stability of ownership paired with the social benefits of co-living. For a counterexample to this idea, let's visit the 60s TV show Gilligan's Island. 7 people from different backgrounds are shipwrecked on a deserted island. To survive, they build a small village with shared amenities and separate huts. But they don't replicate a typical American town. To illustrate what they did build, let's look at the episode where a dispute over a treasure chest leads the professor, acting as a judge, to declare,
"Ladies and gentlemen, I have reached a decision."
Well, don't keep the boy waiting any longer. Tell him I've won the verdict.
Oh, I can't tell him that.
Oh, Gilligan, that means the treasure chest is yours.
Oh, wait. Gilligan didn't win either.
Huh?
Well, let me explain. Ever since we were shipwrecked on this island, we've shared the hardships, the work, the fish we catch, the fruit, the water, everything. We've shared and we've shared alike. And I choose to look upon the treasure chest as one of the natural resources of this island. By custom and usage de facto, it belongs to all of us.
In other words, the island operates more like a commune than a typical American town. The abolition of private property, the sharing of every resource, effectively makes Gilligan's Island a kind of communist colony. That's exactly what modern co-housing is not. I'm being purposefully dramatic here, but I want to underline a point. Co-housing is a transferable real estate product. It's neither a commune, nor European-style housing, nor even American-style publicly subsidized housing. Co-housing is a collection of privately owned homes. Homes are clustered around all kinds of shared amenities. In cities, amenities might include this courtyard, designed for both people and cars. Each co-housing cluster is legally organized as either a homeowners group, condo association, or co-op. Let's zoom in on different kinds of co-housing examples. Jystrup Seward in Denmark was built in 1984. It has 21 private homes, plus shared gardens, workshops, and recreational spaces. About 50% of each home is part of a shared indoor street. This linear, all-around space is covered with glass and filled with communal spaces where residents gather every day. Kids roam freely in indoors or outdoor spaces. Meals are shared 6 nights a week in a large kitchen dining area. Bay State Co-housing, near Boston, is a 30-unit co-op where residents share kitchens, gardens, childcare, and a common house. The 30 modestly sized, privately owned apartments range from 400 square feet to 1,100 square feet. The dining room fits about 100 people for shared meals. Guest suites reduce the need for extra private space, making each home small and affordable. All the residents pass through the common house, which connects the street to the shared courtyard, encouraging daily interaction. Villa van Wijkven in the Netherlands was built by 5 families. Together, they co-financed this single orange building. Each family owns a unique apartment. Shared spaces include a public square beneath the building where bikes are parked and casual encounters happen. The design is a block of interlocking rectangles rotated in different directions. Each volumetric living unit reflects each family's preferences and taste. Common areas encourage connection and informal exchanges. Co-housing continues to gain momentum in both the US and Europe, especially among people seeking lower housing costs, downsizing options, and stronger community ties. Finally, let's talk about co-buying, which is a creative way to make home ownership possible. With real estate prices soaring, more people are pooling resources to buy a home together. Co-buying spreads the financial burden while allowing each buyer to build equity. Most arrangements use a tenancy in common agreement, which assigns ownership shares based on the square footage of each living unit. The agreement also defines which spaces are shared, common, or fully private. A solid plan should spell out every owner's rights, responsibilities, and stake in the property. The plan needs to include clear exit options for people who decide to leave and sell their part of the property. The model works best when trust is high. Co-buyers might be friends, relatives, or even new acquaintances. But for many, it's the way to open the door to home ownership that would otherwise be out of reach. So that's just a brief overview of some alternative housing models. I'm not covering several other kinds of housing types today, but I'll dive into these in future episodes. For now, let's wrap up with this. Communal living won't solve all of society's problems, but it's a step in the right direction. With rising rents and the uneven gig economy and increasing home prices, it's not surprising that more people are seeking shared living arrangements. And while cooperative living may not be for everyone, it's clear that it's becoming a viable and a preferred option for many. Thanks for watching City Design. If you're enjoying these episodes, please like, subscribe, share, and support. See you next time.